It's Wednesday, August 12th. In the headlines, Senate President Tom Tavares Finson says no to the Caribbean Court of Justice as Jamaica's final appellate court. In business news, we have your usual market updates and more. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago and Belize to get $27 million for early warning weather systems. And in sports, Jamaica signs hosting agreements for the 2031 Women's World Cup. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Senate President and King's Counsel Tom Tavares Finson says Jamaica should not commit to the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, as its final appellate court, amid allegations of serious internal problems at the regional tribunal. He is calling for a public inquiry into the claims. The Trinidad Express recently reported allegations by CCJ judges of dictatorial tendencies, interpersonal conflicts, and other governance concerns within the court. But Tavares Finson says the most troubling allegation is panel fixing, which he believes must be thoroughly investigated.
The issue concerns an allegation that panels have been struck with a view to determining the output of cases. And that to me is a very dangerous development if it is true. One of the judges indicated that he was to sit on a particular panel, a case of particular note and relevance to Jamaica, and he was removed from that panel. His allegation is that he was removed because the president was aware of his particular legal opinion concerning the matter, and he was replaced on that panel with no less a person than the president of the court himself. Now, that is an extremely worrying issue.
CCJ President Justice Winston Anderson has not directly addressed the allegations, but President Tavares Finson says their seriousness warrants a public inquiry to restore confidence in the court.
Now, I do not see how this matter can be resolved without a public hearing, or indeed whether it can be resolved, because the judge has made a claim against the president, and it has very serious repercussions for the continued existence of that court. What is clear in my mind is that it would be extremely reckless for Jamaica to decide to join a court in which these interpersonal conflicts are raging, and in which there is an allegation that panels are being struck to determine the outcome of cases. For Jamaica to even consider joining such a court would be extremely reckless.
The Senate President is also challenging the People's National Party to clarify whether it still supports Jamaica becoming a republic with the CCJ as its final appellate court. He says the opposition should state its position in light of the controversy surrounding the regional tribunal.
Can we move forward to make Jamaica a republic, to make Jamaica the republic that Senator Donna Scott Motley spoke about in the Senate in the presence of the President of Ghana? Can we now move forward, or will the PNP continue to hold to the notion that we must join the CCJ before any such action can take place?
The Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James is currently waiting on a new consultant neurosurgeon. The island's second largest health facility has been operating with only one of its 3 approved consultant neurosurgeon positions filled, highlighting Jamaica's ongoing shortage of highly specialized medical professionals. The Western Regional Health Authority says patients requiring neurosurgical services unavailable at Cornwall Regional Hospital are assessed and referred to facilities including the University Hospital of the West Indies and the Kingston Public Hospital. Meanwhile, Cabinet has approved an international recruitment unit within the Ministry of Health and Wellness to help fill specialist vacancies through overseas recruitment. Discussions are also underway with the University of the West Indies to expand local specialist training. The Heart Foundation of Jamaica, HFJ, will stage a series of activities for CPR Week 2026 under the theme Don't Wait, Resuscitate. CPR Week is being recognized from August 16 to August 22. The week's activities are aimed at increasing public awareness and skills in responding to cardiac emergencies. The week's flagship event, an emergency cardiac care symposium, will be held on August 19 under the theme Saving Hearts Together, Collaboration in Cardiac Emergencies from Response to Recovery. Speaking on the Jamaica Information Services think tank, HFJ Director of Emergency Cardiac Care, Dr. Hugh Wong, said the symposium will examine the 6 stages of the chain of survival, including recognizing cardiac arrest, activating emergency services, early CPR, rapid defibrillation, advanced resuscitation, post-cardiac arrest care, and recovery.
We have 3 distinguished presenters, Dr. Sasha Gay Miller-Burzuela, who is the emergency medicine physician leader at the Princess Margaret Hospital, and she'll be talking about the first critical hour, team-based management of peri-arrest and cardiac arrest patients in the emergency department. Our second speaker will be Mr. Enoch Gooden, who is the president and CEO of Life Call Ambulance Service, which is well known in the western part of the island. All right, he will be speaking on field stabilization to hospital handoff, navigating peri-arrest with confidence. And then we'll have Dr. Patrick Toppin, who is a senior anesthetist and critical care specialist at UA.
The foundation will also host a public CPR demonstration at Emancipation Park on August 17, giving people an opportunity to learn basic life-saving techniques while awaiting emergency assistance.
Between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And on Saturday, August 22, we have Family and Friends CPR Day, where laypersons can come to the Heart Foundation. Is there a cost? Minimum cost. All right. Between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., where we hope to have a mass training for persons who require this skill.
The foundation is encouraging Jamaicans to learn CPR, stressing that early intervention can significantly contribute to survival following cardiac arrest.
The Heart Foundation's mission is simple. It is to equip every single Jamaican to be able to save a life. So you may not necessarily need to do ACLS, but you need to know how to do chest compressions. That basic skill of doing chest compressions. We've made it so easy that if you're afraid of putting your mouth on a stranger, you don't have to.
In a move to improve efficiency and integrity, the National Fisheries Authority has announced new rules for processing fisher and vessel license applications, effective September 1, 2026. Marlon Samuels has the details.
The National Fisheries Authority has announced important updates to the licensing process for fishers and vessel operators. The aim is to improve efficiency and uphold integrity. These changes take effect on September 1, 2026. Under the new guidelines, applicants will receive a formal notification if their application is at risk of being closed due to delays or incomplete information. Failure to respond within specific timeframes could result in automatic closure of their application. If the NFA cannot contact an applicant, or if additional information is not provided within 30 days for fisher applications or 42 days for vessel applications, the application will be closed. Once all required information is submitted, processing will take 7 days for fisher applications and 14 days for vessel applications. Applicants are advised to keep their contact details accurate and respond promptly to avoid delays and possible closure. All application fees are non-refundable, even if an application is closed due to non-response. The NFA remains committed to, quote, reeling in excellence, one quality catch at a time, end quote. All stakeholders are encouraged to follow these new procedures for a smoother licensing experience. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
Time now for the business report.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Lasco Financial Services reports a 12% increase in 3 months net profit. The team at Lasco Financial Services highlighted that the diversified nature of the group's income streams continues to support stable revenue growth and reinforces our strategic focus on broadening customer engagement across both traditional and digital channels. As such, net profit for the 3 months amounted to 45.55 million Jamaican dollars, a 12% increase from the 40.52 million Jamaican dollars reported in 2025. Next up, A.S. Bryden and Sons Holding Limited reports a 91% decline in 6 months net profit attributable to shareholders. For the 6 months ended June 30, 2026, the group attributed the softness primarily to weaker demand in the premium beverages and industrial equipment businesses in Trinidad and Tobago, alongside a prolonged recovery period in the Jamaican tourism and hospitality sector. 3 listed companies have announced dividends for investors to collect. Massey Holdings has declared an interim dividend of Trinidad and Tobago 0.0354 cents per stock unit, payable on September 25, 2026 to stockholders on record as at August 28, 2026. The ex-dividend date is August 28. Dollar Financial Services Limited has advised that a meeting of its board of directors to be held on August 19, 2026, an interim dividend payment will be considered. Pan Jamaica Group Limited has declared a second interim dividend of 0.175 cents per share, payable on September 29, 2026 to shareholders on record as at September 7, 2026. The ex-dividend date is September 7, 2026. For the trading period of August 11, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Trans Jamaica Highway Limited with 11,112,054 units, representing 35.07% of market sales. Omni Industries Limited with 2,952,667 units, representing 9.32% of market sales. Woodcats International Limited had shares with 2,453,819 units, representing 7.74% of market sales. Investor activity remained concentrated in distribution and transportation plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for August 11, 2026. Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $159.30 and buying at $157.28. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by 35-cent transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $114.46 and was bought for $114.11. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of 88 cents in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $214.18 and was bought for $213.30. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, what do bankers want to see from borrowers over the age of 50? Well, rebuilding credit after 50 is less about fixing a number and more about changing the financial story a lender sees. From a banker's perspective, they're looking for evidence of three things. 1, do you pay your obligations consistently, on time? Do you manage debt? Low balances and manageable monthly obligations demonstrate financial discipline. Do you have capacity? So we're talking about stable, documented income, and organized financial records help demonstrate that you can repay new financing. If you're over 50 and considering entrepreneurship, real estate, consulting, or another major financial move, don't wait until you need capital to start rebuilding your profile. Start now. Your credit report tells me about your financial history, but your current financial behavior tells more about your future as a borrower. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. See you soon.
In regional news, Belize and Trinidad and Tobago are set to benefit from $27 million to strengthen weather monitoring and early warning systems. The initiative, supported by the Green Climate Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank, aims to improve preparedness for climate-related hazards. The funding will help the two countries strengthen their ability to detect, monitor, and forecast weather, water, and climate-related threats. It will also support disaster risk management, climate information services, and institutional capacity, while improving the delivery of timely warnings to vulnerable communities. The project will be implemented by the Caribbean Meteorological Organization in partnership with national meteorological and disaster management agencies. The goal is to help both countries respond more effectively to severe weather and other hazards. St. Lucia is in the final stages of negotiations with the United States on a proposed agreement governing the transfer of third country nationals to the island. Under the non-binding arrangement, the United States will be limited to 10 transfers every 3 months, with St. Lucia retaining the authority to approve or reject each request. External Affairs Minister Alva Baptiste says the government has submitted its financial demands and is awaiting Washington's response.
The government of the United States of America and the government of St. Lucia intend for no more than 10 individuals to be transferred per quarter. Section 5, procedure prior to reception. A. 5 days prior to a removal, the government of the United States of America intends to send the government of St. Lucia via the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown the flight manifest of the persons expected to be removed. The government of St. Lucia is expected to respond within 2 days with a manifest approved cases, and any persons not included on the manifest are not expected to be allowed on the flight. B. For all persons proposed for transfer, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security intends to provide the following information if available. 1. Nationality. 2. Information regarding whether the person is accompanied. 3. Date of birth. 4. Sex and criminal record to the extent known to the United States. The major consideration for St. Lucia in all this has been the extent to which the United States was committed to financially support the program it had requested of St. Lucia to undertake. Taking into account St. Lucia's limited resources and circumstances, Mr. Speaker, Given the potential policy, financial, and institutional implications of such an arrangement, the government considered it necessary to undertake a comprehensive technical assessment to determine the resources, governance arrangements, and financial commitments that would be required to implement the program effectively while safeguarding St. Lucia's national interest.
In the Bahamas, power problems are now disrupting a critical part of government operations. What had largely been an inconvenience and a financial setback became a major concern Tuesday as an ongoing power outage brought several courts and related services to a halt. Joshua Williams has the story.
Critical services here at the Supreme Court brought to a halt. Power outages affecting parts of downtown has this building closed, and it's been going on for several days now. A source alerted Our News to the ongoing outage on Tuesday morning as the blackout to the Eastern Bank Lane building entered a fourth straight day. Since Friday afternoon, the Ansbacher building has been running off a generator with constant refuelings as the blackout hours stretch into days. The situation became critical late Tuesday morning when the generator malfunctioned despite attempts by technicians to repair it. This meant several courts and related services had to stop. Our News cameras witnessing the building, now in darkness as attorneys and other staff exited, some visibly sweating. From the operational side, judges had to suspend trials, in some cases for a second day, adding more pressure to the case backlogs in an already busy judicial calendar. In total, 5 judges and 3 registrars ceased operations. The Swift Justice building that houses an additional 4 judges as well as a criminal registry, all out of service. In total, 8 judges and 3 registrars unable to carry out their judicial functions. But the situation got even more tenuous when we learned the central police station less than a block away was also without power. It was hard to miss the mobile unit parked outside the station's front door, also operating with a portable generator. We understand incoming inmates scheduled for court appearances had to be rerouted, with virtual proceedings moved to the remand center at the Bahamas Department of Corrections for some criminal and bail matters. Meanwhile, in the downtown area, all around, the roar of generators from surrounding businesses. The nearby Cafe Matisse, a popular downtown eatery, was among the many affected businesses running off of generator power since Friday. Meanwhile, we understand court officials were also kept in the dark up to Tuesday as to what was behind the outage or when power might be restored. Their attempts to contact Bahamas Power and Light for answers leading nowhere. It is believed the blown transformer on East Hill Street may be a part of the problem. In a statement, the Court Services Council Tuesday confirming the courts will reopen Wednesday. Those with pending court matters should report to their respective courts for new dates. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
In sports, we begin with football. Jamaica has taken another step towards co-hosting the 2031 FIFA Women's World Cup after Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Minister Olivia Grange and Jamaica Football Federation President Michael Ricketts signed the required guarantee agreements. The agreements, signed Tuesday at the ministry's offices in St. Andrew, covers Jamaica's hosting obligations, including visas and immigration, permits, safety and security, check-in procedures, indemnification, and other legal requirements. Cabinet has also approved the establishment of a local organizing committee to oversee Jamaica's responsibilities and the financial implications of hosting matches. In cricket, Trinidad and Tobago's under-19 women remain unbeaten after 3 matches in the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women's Under-19 Championship, and Tuesday's win over the Windward Islands was as one-sided as it gets, thanks to a stunning all-round performance from one teenage star. Nasira Muhammad has this story.
Trinidad and Tobago won the toss and sent the Windward Islands into bat first in the CWI Rising Stars Women's Under-19 Championship, and it paid off instantly. Captain and off-spinner Samara Ramnath ran through the top order, finishing with 4 for 10 as the Windward Islands were bowled out for just 52 in under 20 overs. Jada Tyrell's 16 was the only score of note. Brianna Haricharan chipped in with 2 wickets of her own. Then, Ramnath picked up her bat and finished the job, smashing an unbeaten 27 of just 22 deliveries, with 5 boundaries, as Trinidad and Tobago chased down the target in a mere 6.3 overs. Amrita Ramtahal supported with 18 not out.
Down the ground, it will speed into the boundary. And
TNT cruised to a 10-wicket win in just 33 minutes, staying perfect in the tournament.
It should be, but the no ball means that they have gotten across the line from 6.3 overs.
And that's the news on PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.